everyone, my name is VT Haley. This video has been highly requested, so let's just get right into it and let's talk about my UI. Now, a disclaimer, this UI works very well for me, so it might not work for you or your friend or your mother. I have certain things in certain places to have a cleaner look for my Twitch stream, and I have become accustomed to where everything is. This is just a video to show you how I have it set up and to help you if you want to try something similar. So I do use multiple add-ons to keep my UI streamlined and not filled with clutter. The base UI is ElvUI. So even though I do use ElvUI, I do replace some of their stuff with other add-ons such as Plater, and I actually use Blizzard base UI for party and raid frames. So to get started, this portion of the video I actually took from Nagura. She talked about Addon placement in her video, and I think it is such an important part of creating a good UI that I felt that I should talk about it as well for those that haven't seen hers. So when you're in combat, this portion of the screen is where you gravitate to. So it's right in the middle. You don't want to clutter up the middle of your screen with add-ons because you need to be able to see the fight and the mechanics. So if I'm in combat with this Raiders trading dummy, he's right here in the middle of my screen. He's right in front of me. Now, if an ad pops up in a fight, I'm going to turn myself where this ad is now a focal point of my attention. Right here, I know where it is, and if I need to focus both targets, I'm going to move to where they're both in the center of my screen. They're both in that main portion that I pay attention to. So, for instance, I know that this looks like a lot. That's because I do have a lot of WeakAuras. So the ones that are visible in the middle of my screen are either out of combat WeakAuras or they show really important information. And I'll explain more in detail when we talk about each specific add-on. So let's start with ElvUI. I've been using Elv for many years and I love the flexibility of it. And I use this for most of the UI. So my left and right chats, my player bars, which you can't see right now, but I'll show you guys in a minute. My player frame, target of target, focus target, all that good stuff, as well as panels. So my character frame, talents, all that good kind of stuff. I use that for ElvUI. It's very streamlined, it's very clean, and I've always loved the way that it looks. So I'm going to close my camera, show you guys what's behind it. There we go. So of course this is my left chat. So it has my usual chats, my combat log, and any whispers that I get. It also shows my FPS, MS, my local time, and also my gold currency. And above that are my bars. So I keep these here because they are behind my camera for stream. I also usually have these at a low alpha, but I did increase it for this video so you guys could see what I had on them. Yes, my keybinds are different. I use 1 through equals for my MMO mouse, and the rest of my abilities are on a shift modified left side of my keyboard. These are how I was taught to play the game, and I cannot reprogram my brain for new binds. I suggest finding something that works best for you and what doesn't give you carpal tunnel. Make sure that it's comfortable, your hand fits comfortably on the keyboard, and you can reach all of your keybinds in a nice way. Perfect. So ElvUI also takes care of my player frame, like I said. I do have my debuffs attached to my frame, so let me grab a debuff. Let's see. Here we go. There. So I'm fatigued, so I have sated right now. I have my debuffs here attached to the top of my frame. so that I kind of know when I'm dying in a dungeon or a raid. I could look at the debuffs up here next to the mini-map, but it's better to have them closer to this part of the screen where my eyes are always at. I'm always paying attention there. So my target frame has debuffs attached and certain buffs, but especially dispellable buffs. So Hunters actually finally got Trank Shot back in Shadowlands, and it's extremely useful in every single dungeon in Shadowlands. So I need to know what I can dispel from mobs. My target of target is not super important to me as a hunter because my focus target is typically going to be the tank, and that's going to show me the debuffs that my focus target has. Alright, so my favorite add-on actually has to be WeakWars. Yes, again, this looks like a lot, but most of these are only seen in like a certain fight or again out of combat. My most recommended set of WeakAuras is going to be a class or spec specific WeakAura set. So mine is this one. There's a lot going on here. Let me actually do that. There we go. That makes it a little easier. So mine is this one. This is the Hunter WeakAura set from Luxos. I've been using it for a really long time, and I don't see myself using anything else until I learn how to make my own WeakAuras, which won't be for a while. But you're going to want to get something that gives you only the information that you need. So this shows me my focus, my resource. It shows me how many shots of aim shot I have, my cast bar, talents, stuff like that. It gives me those things. It tells me if I have a lust available with a pet. It shows me the cooldowns on turtle or survival of the fittest, all that kind of stuff. It shows me what I need to know and not a bunch of stuff that I don't need. So take your time, find one that you like, and find one that helps you to play better. These WeakAuras actually really improved my gameplay, and it's something that I'll always be really, really happy that I did. So here we go, we'll close those out. Now I also recommend a set of raid and dungeon WeakAuras. So this is my raid WeakAura set. It is set up right above my target's cast bar. So they're very self-explanatory. They work great for what I need them for. This is the raid set, and let's see, where is a dungeon set? Dungeon set is in exactly the same spot, and I'll include links to these WeakAuras down below. Perfect. So another WeakAura that I highly recommend is actually a Mythic plus Timer WeakAura. I love this one because it actually fills the timer bar instead of draining it like the base timer from Blizzard does. And I prefer that so much. And the mob count is very specific. It has exact percent and count, and it also shows when Prideful is spawning. Of course, I have plenty of really fun WeakAuras. Like I've got the where is she? The Dolly and Dot WeakAura. It does Dolly and Dot sing along. It's super cute and I love it. And then I have the Ouroboros lap counter, but these aren't essential to anyone's UI as much as I want to say that they are. Perfect. Now, beautiful. So for party frames, let's see if I can get somebody in here. Invite. So my party frames look like this. My party frames stay up here, of course. There we go. Now, I did find that I really, really love the Blizzard party frames and raid frames. The frames are more important for dungeons as a DPS than for raids, so my party frames are very, very different than the raid ones. So There we go. My party frames are also a lot larger than the raid frames, and they have Zen Tracker attached to it. And then Zen Tracker also takes care of my interrupt timers, but those only show up in a dungeon. Now, raid frames. Go. They show up at the bottom of my screen. As you can see, they're a lot smaller. They are a lot less important to me in raid, and then this also frees up a lot more space in my main line of sight here for raid progression add-ons and WeakAuras. All right, there we go. So next up is Plater. My Plater is very simple, considering that I'm not a tank, I'm not a healer, and I'm not a dot class. So here is what my Plater looks like. There we go. Nice and pretty. Very simple, very small, elegant. I have the percentage, and I also have the health. So my debuffs and any type of party stun will show up on the left side of the mob here. There we go. And then any dispellable buffs will attach to the right side of the frame. So, and it's also a lot larger than the debuffs so that I can see it. It's a lot easier for me to see, and it shows what I need to be dispelling from mobs. And then it also has really cool indicators for, there we go, for execute phases. So this has an 80% bar. When it gets past 80%, the bar comes down here to 20% for execute phase. There we go. And that kind of helps for any mob. And then it also has indicators for each boss if they have different phases. So the second boss in Mist, or the last boss of Theater of Pain, I can see when they're going to be phasing. And there's not a whole lot special about my nameplates, because I play a class that doesn't need every single piece of information about a mob. I see what I need to see. I see my debuffs on the mob, the buffs that I need to take care of on the mob, and whether it's attacking me or not. Alright, now as far as boss mods go, I've actually always preferred BigWigs. So let me open that up. Here we go. Perfect. There. So as you can see, the important information shows up right on top of my character and on top of my player frame. So the emphasized bar shows what abilities are coming up next. Emphasized messages basically tell me exactly what to do when the important mechanics show up. So these are the things that I need to see the most, and that's why they are right in the dead center of my screen. Perfect. Now, as far as damage meters go, I love details. I think details is awesome. And it's great for not only damage meters and healing meters, but also for tracking deaths, dispels, interrupts, and actually a lot more. I keep mine here, right here on the right side. It's out of the way so that I can look at it after a fight. Now, on top of it, let's see. You can see the abilities that I'm using. See if I'm mounting, or you can see if I'm aim-shotting, rapid fire, if I'm using my cooldowns, anything like that. You can see that right here. And that's mainly for stream so that people can see my rotation, what I'm doing. And a lot of times people will help me out with it because I'm not always right. I mess up my rotation a lot. All right. Perfect. Let's get out of combat with that training dummy. There we go. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you take something and add it to your UI. I'll put all the names of the add-ons and links to the major WeakAuras down in the description below. And if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, and click that little bell to get the notifications when I post a new video. You can also check out my Twitch and see this UI in action. See you there.